Network. The show brings the temperature of sports to a whole new level. Whether it's a local opinion or a national agenda, everything is fair game. Remember, everyone has an opinion, but only few can back it up. Now sit back, crank up the volume, and if you think you can handle it, get ready for the heat.
Welcome in, everybody. We are live right here broadcasting Heat Ratio Sports from Steam Pub in beautiful Bucks County right here at 2nd Street Pike. If you want to stop on, they are the home of the real-time draft beer list. As always, we talk about this every week. When they pop another tap, they let you know in real time on social media, which is unheard of nowadays. And literally, you can leave your house when they pop it, come here and get the first shot with little less head. But as always, it's Heat Ratio Live. Follow us at Heat Ratio Sports in all sorts of formats. You know the drill. You got the threesome here. It's me. It's Dan. It's Al. And we got Adam in the house, as always. We got a couple people in the audience already wanting to know what we think about those Philadelphia 76ers. We got the Phillies right above us. Right now, we got our man Zach Wheeler pitching. I mean, how much better than you get from that? We're going to ask a couple questions tonight. Had a couple interesting answers on social media as well. If you were starting a franchise, think about it now. And you had to pick one guy to be your cornerstone. Would it be Giannis? Would it be Embiid? Or would it be the Joker? So they're the only three guys you get to pick. We want to see why and who you would pick as well. Obviously, we're going to have our Prime Roofing, www.primeroofingpa.com trivia question, like we always do. And Dan, I'm going to tell you something. I went down to opening day. Let's get right into the baseball talk.
All right.
And it was number one, it was electric, but I have not felt that kind of energy. I keep saying this since 2008. I had a Sunday package plan at that time, 18 games, went down there. It was phenomenal atmosphere. I mean, nobody was sitting down. Nothing like Kyle Schwarber leading off the game with a home run. I mean, it was like poetry in motion, right?
Yeah.
But looking at this team and what just overall, before we can talk about, pluses, minuses, just your overall thoughts from the weekend watching this team against Oakland and now against the Mets.
Like you couldn't have written a better script to start the season with the home run. It got a packed stadium even more crazy, as it were. And I believe before this the season started, I just couldn't see this team. I mean, it's like a personal goal, and they've been made nervous a couple times. I don't want to see them get shut out at all this year.
You're right.
And they've had a home run every game so far.
Yeah.
So far, they're living up to certain expectations. I mean, the new guys have hit home runs, but they're not like on fire. The best player probably is Segura right now. He's a steady Freddie.
We talked about him, man. Yeah. He's a career 300 hitter.
Not in the lineup today.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Mr. Girardi. That's
we've already discussed him a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna get to Joe.
But
good old Joe.
And then you have to have unsung heroes on teams like this. And last night it was Nelson.
Yes.
I mean, he pitched lights out to keep the Phillies in the game, to give them a chance to even rally. And I don't know if you saw the stat tone. That was like the first time since 19 that they came back from a 4-run deficit from the 7th inning on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Get used to it.
Yeah, it's funny because it's exactly like you say. Who would have thought that for those couple times that people would be shut out, meaning the Phillies with all their baseballers over here, their bomb boys. But it shows how electric that offense can be, because you're talking about, for 7 innings, they don't do nothing. They drop a 5 spot like it's nothing. All right. And that's why I think we talked about this last week, and I think that was the brilliance behind what Dave Dombrowski did. And said, I need to beef up this bullpen with many arms, because I already know I just need to keep us close, keep us in a game. It could be 7-5. It doesn't matter. These boys can swing a bat. And now I know we touched this before, but here's the thing. Let me ask you this. Joe Girardi, again, Certain things I don't understand.
We're only 4 games in, so.
Well, here's the thing.
Doc Girardi.
You know where I'm going with this, but I need to know something. I need to know. You've coached. I've coached. Dan, you've coached. Now, opening day, you put your rookie in there, Bryson Stott. Okay, makes a couple errors. And the reason why, because Rhys Hoskins sucks at first base. Let's just throw that out there.
Those were on Rhys. Yes,
He's
sir.
terrible. He should not be playing first base. So take that in consider. Take that as you want. Then he comes up and he basically goes 2 for 2. His final 2 at bats helps us generate more offense. And then how do you reward this kid? You bench him for 3 days, right? And the guy you put in's another stiff who can't play third base. So. Al, what is the logic with this? I'm having a problem with this.
All I know is what he tells us. That's all I know is what he tells us.
Yeah.
He tells us he's trying to move people in and out. It's a short spring training, so he doesn't want to wear people out. I'm thinking like we're 4 games in. We're not 20 games in. We're not 40 games in. We're 4 games in. I don't understand, but he's saying he doesn't want people to get cold on the bench. I don't know. Dude. Bryce, if he was a little hurt, I could see him taking him out of right, but he put him in DH. He took Segura. I don't know why he took him.
Hottest hitter on the team.
I don't know what's going on. I can't explain it. You want me to explain his logic?
Well, we're going to get into Doc Rivers later, so I figure I'd give you a little softball right here.
A little warm up.
Yeah, give you a little warm up going to Kentucky Joe. Okay, because I'm telling you right now.
That's just what he said. So I'm going by what he said. Now, as we go along, just hopefully it gets a little easier.
We'll see. What my man Rich, second in, says Girardi has no rhyme or reason. Bohm is like a deer in headlights at third base, right? And I don't even want to talk about the whole I hate this effing place. Listen, whether you apologize or not, let me just say something. If that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. I'm a firm believer that what comes out of your mouth is what you're feeling. If it's in your,
especially when you're angry,
absolutely, you mean it. Don't tell me you didn't mean it.
Dude,
you mean it, right?
Imagine the next time he plays and he has an error, and don't let it be sold out.
It's not hard to imagine, Al. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But
100% going to happen.
But to your point, they were saying like Girardi expected Peterson to come in and pitch rather early in one of the games, so that's why he didn't have Stott in there, because he didn't want to go lefty on lefty. But Didi had a huge hit last night. There's no denying that. But before that hit, he looked like he was struggling. And the parallels with Doc and Girardi are they favor their vets. And although Segura sitting is peculiar, Stott's at second base today. I'm assuming is it Camargo at third, or is it Bohm that get third?
You know what? I didn't have a chance. I literally ran from the soccer field to here, so I didn't look at the lineup.
Yeah, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Camargo at third.
Probably, because they were high on him.
Yeah, so he was a very under the radar signing.
Yes.
So because they're going up against a tough righty, so I can't see them putting Bohm against this guy's throwing 98. And listen, if we're going to nitpick, Matt Vierling does nothing for me.
Really?
Nothing.
I like Matt.
He can't pull a ball.
He hits the ball harder than anybody on the team.
Yeah, but he can't pull the ball. If everyone knows he's going to hit it the right side of the field, he just can't pull the ball.
Who's playing center field then?
No, I get it. It's a shame we're in that dilemma.
Yeah, I mean, listen, although even before Moniak got hurt, Verling was going to be the starter anyway.
Yeah, with Odubel, right?
And
they brought up the kid. And they brought up
don't say that name to him.
Yeah.
They brought up the kid.
It's a trigger.
Scumbag.
They brought up the kid from the minors for defensive substitutions.
Yeah. Is that a home run?
Yes, it is.
All right. That's all right.
For the Mets.
Solo.
That's all right for Wheeler. I mean, he's pitched excellent.
Nice.
We got everything we could get out of him in this first.
Solo.
It's a solo. Listen, we can put up 4 or 5 at any time.
Yeah,
and just listen. Full transparency here. We're gonna have some fun. Next week. Right now, just so everybody knows, we're up here on center stage. And if you're not right in the front, you're probably not hearing us. But we will be getting heard throughout half of the bar next week. and we're gonna have some live betting going on, right? We're gonna have some stuff going on where we're watching some Phillies games and have some fun with some home run props. I know we all like them, some total base props, some K props, and we'll have some sound effects as well. So everybody's gonna get in the fun. So as always, top eye at Steam Pub, all social formats right here in beautiful Bucks County, the home of the real-time draft beer list. Dan, where do we go from here in the sense of third base? And what I mean by that is if we're going to be a championship caliber team, if we're going to be competitive, if we are going, which we are obviously, but if we are going to compete, in the NL East, in the National League for the pennant, we need somebody steady. I don't care about a bat, but you need somebody steady at the hot corner. And if they're not going to be confident in Stott, because it looks like they're not, because already they already shipped them out to the other side of the field after one game.
But
ridiculous.
He started at shortstop one game.
Yeah. No, he didn't. He's not, unless he did yesterday. I didn't see the lineup yesterday.
I think he started at short.
But my thing is, you got to get a guy like a Pedro Feliz that we had here, right? We didn't get him for his bat. So I really think this is like a, one of those times where you're going to go trade deadline deal already. And I know it's early, but I think you're already going to have to start looking at that, man.
It's a little
I believe
defense wins championships.
I get it,
No,
but not this early. Right?
I believe that Stott, who
I like him.
He's not considered a bad glove. And the plays that he, quote, had errors on were swinging bunt type plays.
Yes.
Where he's throwing on the run. And honestly, I think they changed one of the errors to him, but it was really Rhys Hoskins. It's like he's thrown to a parked car at first base. So, Rhys Hoskins doesn't do anyone any favors. Even Bohm's errors, a good first baseman makes the plays.
I agree.
So let's be a little realistic there. That's a bigger concern.
Yeah.
Late in the game, who's going to play first base?
Well,
you can't take Rhys out though.
No.
If you have a nice
he's
lead,
a DH,
if you have a nice lead, you can take Rhys out. He's a terrible glove.
If you're up and it's or if you just got to hold them in that ninth, maybe you can do that.
What about Castellanos? What about Schwarber?
Right. Well, Castellanos, I would think he looks a little more limber, and he was a former third baseman.
Right.
Schwarber was a catcher, stocky guy. Catchers ultimately do play a lot of first base.
This is true.
But I would lean Castellanos would be more fluid as a first baseman, and to catch a ball and make routine scoops. Even I think Bohm would be an improvement over.
True.
Would be improvement over Rhys and
anybody's
and Camargo. If Camargo's not playing somewhere else,
I don't know. Does he have first baseman eligibility?
Listen, if you can play the infield, you can play for any first base. Is an easy position to play. And honestly,
not that easy.
Look at Rhys.
Right. Well, it's not my fault that he didn't bring his seeing eye dog with him. JT probably could play some solid first base too.
Yeah.
If you want to put him at first and put who was the backup catcher?
I forget the kid name. He played the other night.
Right. I'm drawing a blank.
He just played catcher though. So
Stubbs.
And JC came off the bench that game.
Have you ever seen a catcher that tiny before? He's a tiny kid.
Yeah.
Like Biggio before they moved him to second base.
What? The only thing I would say about baseball is you have so many games, so you have plenty of time where you can find you can target somebody, and then you got plenty of time for either one of these kids. They either want to be able to do it or they're not. And you got, if you want to give them, I don't know, name a number, 15 a piece, 20 a piece, and then you'll know, and then do what you need to do, even if it's before the trade deadline or way before. Well, but I think you got time.
No, you do. No, I do agree with you. I think but I'm basing this on Girardi. I feel like Girardi's not going to give him time. That's my issue.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I mean, because he's already showing his stripes here. Right. And that's my biggest issue. Like you want him to be able to give him time. It's almost like, listen, we're going to talk about Doc later on, right? With the whole DeAndre Jordan, Paul Reed thing, right? So, he wants to keep throwing DeAndre Jordan out there, who's like, number one, a human turnstile. And number two, he's like got the biggest cement legs I've ever seen. He can't move. He's done. Right. He is not. Listen, I know Paul Reed's going to make mistakes, but at least he's going to give you energy. Right. This is a little different. I get it. You can't keep making the mistakes, but at the same time, you have to be able to give this kid the ability to work through. If you're seeing exactly what we've talked about, that it was not his fault. Now, on the positive side, let's talk about some positives. Number one, I think the lineup is doing exactly what we thought. Remember, people, you have a full lineup of power hitters. Your best pure hitter is probably Gene Segura in that lineup, and he is their hottest hitter for good reason. But when you have a full power lineup, there's going to be games and innings where you get nothing because these guys are swinging for the fences, right? So everybody relax. It's okay. This is the way it's going to work. But when they explode like they did the other night, Dan,
And that
5 runs.
that wasn't even the meat of
No,
the potatoes
exactly.
that got that started.
So listen, I'm excited, Dan.
I was happy about that.
Listen, you and I both seem to be not on the Reese train.
No, I've never been on a Reese.
Right,
train.
I haven't either. But he's starting off with a solid stick. So
Absolutely.
to Al's point, Reese got it going. Didi drove the ball into the gap. So those were the guys that were the impetus to the comeback.
Yeah.
Last night.
No, you're right.
But that's
mean,
what you need. You can't
look at-
always have the obvious players produce.
Look at
I
the
agree.
lineup that you can have Reese that far down.
I know.
That's
Yeah.
that's the beauty of this, that Reese can be that far down and still have
Man.
the hit, the power and everything else that comes with Reese
You
at the plate.
The only
Not-
thing,
not
the
in-
only
not in
thing you
defense.
want to see is not, last year. Granted, it's not nearly the same lineup, but last year they all went cold together.
Right.
I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
So right now, they're again, how many innings we threw,
I
And
think
they-
we're
and-
through 5.
and we don't have a run on the board.
right.
So
It's fine.
we're not,
Yeah.
it could come at any moment,
right.
but we're not coming out ablazing like we thought we would
Right.
after that first
What
game.
was nice in that first game is the complete opposite of what you're talking about, is where they actually were hitting situational pitches. They were playing situational baseball. They were getting the doubles, the singles. They were, steal a couple bases here or there, score the runs the right way.
It was
So,
just one home run, right?
right, that's
Just
it.
the leadoff.
Kyle Schwarber.
Speaking of Reese,
If you would have
he's up
told
to
me they
bat
would have
right
scored
now.
9 runs in the first
Uh,
game, I would have thought way more than one home run.
Make me a liar, Reese. Make me a liar. I'll love you forever. But
you can say a lot of things about Reese, but when he's hot,
yeah, no,
he's hot.
He came up to us hot when
Yeah,
we,
he did.
when we didn't know much about him. He was like
Yeah.
on fire when he
Yeah.
came up as a kid out of the
Rich,
minors.
Rich is spot on. Is exactly what we're saying. Says they're mashing offense. They're not going to be a contact hitting team, but the ability to put up crooked numbers in a heartbeat. That is what they're sold on, right
Rich
there.
is correct.
And that's what's going to happen. So you're going to have to live or die with the offense. Tell you that right now,
I'm good
But-
with that.
right? But how about this, guys? So you live or die with the offense. I mean, and you remember we were breaking this down and we talked about pitching staffs, and we talked about the Mets having a really good staff. Even before the DeGrom injury, right? And even after the DeGrom injury, you see, listen, Tom Walker he pitched pretty well, and he was on a pitch count. So he could have kept going, right? So you already see that they have the ability. But guess what, man? Kyle Gibson comes out and throws a gem. And you remember, we were talking about this before when we got him last year. That was a big thing, whether he was in Texas or Minnesota. He was an innings eater, but he always had the stuff. And I'll tell you what, man, if he
They
continues to put it
poo-pooed
together.
him last year, though, when we first got him. It was a lot of like, what the hell are you
You know
getting
why?
him
Because
for?
people don't watch baseball.
Right.
That's why. People are like, if I don't see him on Sports Center, I don't know who he
Yeah.
is. And that's and again, and I, from all the sports gambling stuff that I do and the fantasy sports, it's you get to know these players and their ability. And Kyle Gibson was always that guy. So I mean, listen, Ranger Suarez had a tough inning the other night, and listen, 65, 67 pitches in 3 innings, not ideal. I get it, but again, we don't even know what to expect from Ranger Suarez. We're going from a small sample size last year and expecting him to step right back in and pick right up. So,
And he only gave up 3.
Well,
He
that's
didn't
the
give
thing.
up 7.
and in this offense, Al,
Yeah.
3 runs is nothing,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
right? Yeah, I
If
completely
you have
agree.
a bad night and only give up 3, I'm good.
Yeah,
Tone, I'm a proponent of whip, as you know, in baseball.
yeah, you love whip.
And he's the past 3 years he's been in the under 1-2 or just above 1-2,
Okay,
and that's where I want my pitchers to be at now.
elite's 1.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
I
you're elite if you're 1.
like
so.
I did a feature on Clemens and Johnson,
Clemens
and they
and
were
Johnson.
117 for their career.
So
Pedro was 114,
let me tell you something, man.
or Maddox was 114.
As I was watching that,
Wow.
and
Bust out set right there.
I was reminiscing, man. I was reminiscing. I'm going back to Pedro Martinez, man. Who's your daddy for real?
Did you see that stat I threw out there?
Which one? You throw a bunch on. By the way,
but in 2000, he had a whip of .737.
It is elite.
I was like, oh my God, when I came across that.
And again, if you're just tuning in right now, make sure you go follow Heat Ratio Sports on YouTube, subscribe. And I'm not saying this to blow him because he's right next to me, but my man, okay, listen. I'm just saying. My man, quick takes with Dan Green. I'll tell you something right now. He don't just throw stuff up against the wall. He puts some absolute work into these 20-minute or 5-10-minute ordeals. You got to check him out. Seriously. He's got a good debating points. And Roger Clemens, you said it, Dan. I'm past the steroid thing.
Yeah.
Past it, right? Just like you said. The guy was a machine. I don't care what anybody says. The guy was a machine. And just as him and Martin. I was a Pedro guy. And I you know what? I'll tell you what. People forget how good Pedro was for the Phillies in 09.
Into the playoffs. He was
right.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't pitch bad against the Yankees.
No, he did.
In that environment, I don't think he pitched that bad. So, yeah.
The damn sure wasn't the reason why we lost.
No. Jorge Posada, Hideki Matsui. Are you kidding me?
Matsui killed us.
Matsui was a killer, Philly killer, man. I blame that all on Cliff Lee for not closing out that Cardinals game. But I don't even know. Was that year, right? That was a year, right?
Well, no, because you're talking about the World Series, so they got to the World Series.
Yeah, they got there.
Yeah, but I'm saying
it was 2000. It was 2000.
What year did we lose to the Cardinals?
2000.
When Howard blew his Achilles out.
Was it 10 or
it was 10 or 11?
That had to be after. So that had to be 10.
Okay.
And then 11
so
was
we
the Giants.
won. Then we got back to the World Series.
Yes.
And we lost.
11
and
was
the
the
next one
Giants.
is when he blew it out.
Cardinals, Giants.
Right.
Cody Ross.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't bring up that name.
Cody.
He just knew he was going to kill you at the plate every time he got up.
Oh,
Good
man. Yeah.
All right, I don't want to get agitated.
Yeah.
Phillies, I'm hitting 5 for 5. Hitting a home run in the double.
So let's finish this Philly segment out and just talk general baseball. But let me ask you guys this. Just, I know it's small sample size. I get it. Going into the season, we were very high. We watched them for 4 or 5 games right now. I know it's early, but are we basically seeing what you expected, or are you kind of underwhelmed right now? Al, what do you think?
I would expect a little more hitting wise, and we're going into now the 6th, and we still don't. Did we even have a hit yet?
I agree with you there.
So we got 2 hits. So a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm being greedy.
I'm being
We're
greedy.
3-1.
So what? I'm being greedy.
You can't get too upset or anything. We're 3-1, and all we need to do is hit maybe 2 hits, and maybe one person come up and hit a home run, and it's a tie game, or we take the lead. So I'm good. I would a little more, but I'm all right.
I'm with you. Dan, what do you think, buddy?
I'm along the lines of Al, I believe. I thought they would be spanking the ball a little harder, but then again, they're pitching well.
Right.
Yes.
And we talked about last show. Brad Hand last night was lights out. And a lot of people on the local
4 innings.
The local media, they're like, I don't want to see him on the mound. I don't trust the guy. And I'm trying to have the mindset that these guys have to be rejuvenated coming to this lineup, and nobody wants to let another player down.
That's a good point.
And that's how I'm looking at, Hand came in with a lead. So how do you then go into the dugout and say, sorry guys, I blew the lead.
Right.
So you fought so hard to come 4-0 down to 5-4, and I blew the lead for you guys.
A lot of camaraderie on this team early already.
They seem to like each other, and that's
They do.
important.
Rich says, great, good point, Rich. Remember, Harper hasn't called fire yet. Wait till he starts getting going. So, and we know he is a very streaky player, 100%. But overall baseball, Dan, this weekend, a lot of big moonshots, man. How about, let me ask you this about Byron Buxton, man. Like, he is one of those cats that he just couldn't stay healthy. He just can't stay healthy. But if he could stay healthy and put it all together, this kid is an MVP waiting to win the award. That Minnesota offense is sneakily very good. Right? You have Polanco in that lineup. You get Carlos Correa. You have Byron Buxton. You have Sanu, who is 100% Pedro Serrano in real life. He is the epitome of Adam Dunn, striking out 220 times. Right? He's going to bat 195, but hit 40 home runs. I mean, that's just what he's going to do. But Byron Buxton, did you see him play at all this weekend, Dan?
Yeah, he's a 40 home run guy waiting to happen.
Oof,
I mean,
man.
he hit 19 home runs and just over 200 and some at bats last year.
Stud.
So the kid's a 6'2", wiry, strong dude.
Remember they were talking about when in the offseason, like there was whispers because he was up for contract extension and Minnesota normally doesn't pay anybody. And the Phillies were actually in that conversation. Could you imagine Byron? I mean, obviously we didn't have enough to give up for him because he's that good. Right. I think he signed a 7-year, $100 million contract.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But honestly, Byron Buxton, that's going to be a discount. If he stays healthy, that's going to be a discount. Carlos Correa hit a moonshot, and everybody laughed at him when he signed a 3-year deal to go to Minnesota, and he said that gave him the best chance to win, and everybody laughed at that. You know what? Maybe he's not wrong. We'll see. I mean, Minnesota reminds me of that kind of Oakland-esque, Tampa Bay, right? Yeah. Dan, the teams that spend no money, low payroll, all guys, they're homegrown, and they still find a way to win.
Because they really put an emphasis in their scouting.
Yes. Which is something
and to your point, in years past, the Buxtons wouldn't have stuck around.
Yeah, you're right. Now
imagine that.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
How about shout out to the elder statesman, Adam, 40-plus-year-old Wainwright for the St. Louis Cardinals, who comes and pitches a gem for the Cardinals on opening day. I mean, listen, I'll tell you what, that Cardinals lineup is very, very good. Guys like Tyler O'Neill, Dylan Carlson, and Dan, we rode the DFS Dylan Carlson train a lot last year, right? And they still got Arenado. They still got Goldschmidt. Hey, they got Edmund batting eighth. Still got Jorge Molina, or Yadier Molina.
Yeah.
Right? There is so much talent on that team. That's another team, always competitive, right, Dan?
No, they have a winning culture. The fact that you just mentioned two guys, and Wainwright and Yadier Molina, who are approaching 40 years of age. In fact,
Wainwright's, I think, 41, right?
Yeah, and Yadi's got to be 39, 40.
Still
and they brought Albert back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have a culture in that place, and they're just always around. And again, to your point, they will make mid-season moves to improve their ball club as well.
That is true. They do that. They do get that secret stud that nobody's looking at, right? They always do that. I was actually surprised they signed Arenado because that's not kind of like their kind of signing, but I guess they figured, you know what, you need two power bats in that lineup. He's a hot corner third base. Obviously, he was young at that time, coming from Colorado. So, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. They traded for Goldschmidt before, and then they get Arenado. So, they know what they're doing out there. And Rich, you're right. Farm system and scouting, that's a foreign concept to the Phillies. We know all about. But I'll tell you, though.
Hopefully one day.
Right. Well, here's the thing, man. If Bryson Stott works out and Mickey Moniak can catch that wave again after the unfortunate injury, listen, at the end of the day.
Bad for that kid.
Oh, man. What a blow.
That was a kick in the where.
Kick right in the cojones.
When that news came through.
And it came out of nowhere.
And then if he comes back and he's not what he was in spring training, everybody's going to crush him.
I know.
I don't think initially they will. I think.
I don't think they'll crush him.
Yeah, I think they'll realize that he's got to get his mojo back. And I'm sure this was a 6 to 8 week injury.
Yes.
And he's going to spend 2 of those 6 to 8 weeks in the minors facing live pitching to get used to. So it's gonna be a long-term deal before we get him back.
Yeah, they was talking about that because Sunday I heard Smitty saying that he was talking to his dad.
Okay.
And he was saying he was actually happy that the Phillies let him stay up for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, I like that.
So he could stay engaged.
That was a good move.
You got a lot of vets talking to you that been through injuries and stuff like that.
They saw what he was doing.
They can help him with him.
I agree. I thought that was
actually a very good move. Normally, he said normally they just send you down Clearwater for the whole time, and then I see you when you get back type of thing.
It's like that in the NBA. A lot of guys get hurt. You don't see him.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's our baseball talk for right now, and we're going to go from one thick-headed coach to another bull-headed coach, and we're going to talk a little Sixers, Raptors, playoff preview and predictions. And before we even get into that, Al, I know. Listen, you're the basketball guy here, and I got to lean on you here. because I don't ever remember, and I don't know you if you have. I never watched a lot of Clippers news conferences or Boston Celtics press conferences, but I never remember Doc Rivers being as snarly and snippy as he is now.
Age. I don't know.
You think it's age, or is it Philadelphia again? He can't handle the heat.
I don't think it's Philly. I think he just gets annoyed with certain things, and it flows over. Like he gets annoyed by the dumbest stuff. I was about to say something else.
That's all you can say. No FCC rules here. I just
saying?
talked about blowing Dan. You could say it. I mean, come on.
Check, please.
I don't understand why he blowing up over something so small. It's not that deep for him to. He snapped that. Who was that? You remember who it was that he blew up at?
I forgot what reporter it was.
Yeah,
it wasn't Keith Pompey.
No, it wasn't Keith.
I don't think it was Keith.
I would recognize his voice.
Yeah, Keith's very distinct.
I think it's Derek.
It might have been Bodner.
Yeah,
for the Athletic.
I don't understand why he snapped like that. It was.
He's ready to go.
The question
Had to be asked.
The question
Yes.
had to be asked, but I see his point.
I don't.
Now I'm gonna explain it because I
Yeah,
know a
help
lot
me
of
out.
people don't.
Help me out, Al.
Please
now,
do, Al.
We had Drummond all the way up into the trade deadline, so he wasn't going to play backup center then, right?
I get it. We're talking about Paul Reed.
Paul Reed.
B-ball Paul.
Now, myself, as soon as we didn't have Drummond, I would have automatically gave him a shot.
Yep.
That's just me.
Me too.
Doc.
And
We
Bassey,
all
too, right?
know, almost everybody in the whole city knows he prefers the veterans over the kids anyway. It is what it is. You're not going to change his mind. All right. So now when we got DJ, it wasn't that much It wasn't that much time in between Drummond going and DJ coming in as that second center. All right. So what they're saying, what he was trying to say was that you should have been pushing Paul the whole time. Well, it wasn't that much time in between in his mind, and again in Doc's mind, that we didn't have a veteran center. So that's what he's saying in his mind, but he didn't explain it like that. He said it like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I'll do what I want to do. Why can't you guys understand? Here, let me break it. He did just way too much, dude. I don't even understand why he did all that. It wasn't necessary.
He can't handle it, man.
I said probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Paul Reed is going to give you everything you need in the playoffs. Energy, rebounding, the long arms on defense. Now, the problem is with that. I love that. He fouls too much, dude. You can't have the Raptors in the penalty early, and there's 6 minutes left, and they're shooting for the rest of the quarter. You can't have that.
Two ways to look at that.
You got to
man.
get him out to the 3-point line to defend.
It's got to be something that you can figure out where he can't be fouling like that in the playoffs.
With Siakam, though, you can't have Jordan sitting in the paint.
Right.
Jordan's going to get this is the worst matchup for DeAndre Jordan.
Right. So we got to figure out something. I just don't know what he's going to figure out. Now, myself, I think he's going to play Paul Reed. I think he's going to pay him. I'm thinking he's going to play B-ball. He just said that to them.
If he doesn't, he's lying. If he doesn't, he's lying.
But he doesn't need. What is he going to tell us for a week before the playoffs start?
Well,
he don't need to tell us anything, and the Raptors don't need to know either.
The thing is, though, he did not need to dump on the kid.
Nah.
I mean, the kid had a great game. So what if Paul Reed came out and looked like DeAndre Jordan? Basically, didn't do anything. He was given minutes. He scored 4 points, couple boards, got in foul trouble. First of all, no one would have followed up with Paul Reed questions. But the kid scores 25 points. What are you not supposed to acknowledge that?
He thinks that and now you want to crown him MVP.
But again,
when he said something, you heard he said something sarcastic like, "Oh, you guys want to crown Paul now?"
So that doesn't
something like that.
But what does that do for the kid in the locker room?
But you tell him something. You tell him something different in the locker room.
But now it's been doctrine because the kid knows what he said about him to the media.
I don't think it was too harsh. I just think he got to come a different way with the media. It's not going to work here, dude. It's just going to blow up. And God forbid, I'm not even going to say God forbid what I was about to say because I don't even want to put that out in the air. But if that happens, it's going to blow up. And I'm talking about big time if things go badly.
Well, here's the thing. Doc said that based on lineups, there's going to be one lineup where DeAndre Jordan plays. There'll be one lineup where Paul Reed plays. And the lineup that Paul Reed would play would be the Toronto Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how true Doc.
He said it to you without saying it.
Right. So let's see if Doc is true to his word.
Right.
Listen, I'm all understanding
It
about
make
trust
sense
as
to have
veterans.
DJ out there. I'm going to screw. I'm going. No, I can't say I'm gonna throw something at my TV because I
Don't do that.
I love my 90 inch.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a serious problem.
Yes,
DJ cannot play in this series.
No, and you're going to.
I don't even want to see Millsap.
No.
He can't. They can't stay with the quickness. They got too much youth, too much athleticism, length, everything.
What happened to Paul Millsap?
He got old overnight. I mean, when he was with Denver and Atlanta, he was a damn good ball player.
Yeah, he's playing on two flat tires, man.
Maybe in another series they can contribute. Not this series.
No,
but you got to know that the Lakers did it in that playoffs where Dwight and I can't remember his name, didn't play the whole series in one whole series, but the next series and the rest of the series all the way till they won the chip. They played the bigger lineup, so you just got to mix and match. It is what it is.
Yeah, we don't want to see a second round exit, man.
Do you guys?
I'm sorry.
Do you guys have any kind of positivity out of the way Shake played last game?
You know what? Here's the only thing.
Or confidence building.
Only thing I would say about Shake is, and I might have mentioned this before. I think somebody else might have mentioned it too, but let's not forget that Shake was hurt for probably about 80% of the year.
Thank you. People forget that.
So he had a back issue. And when you're a shooter, you have a back issue. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay. So, the best thing for us, let's not forget that Shake was pretty steady last year and Shake was steady the year before in his role. So I think it's a huge deal. I don't think Shake needs confidence. I think he just needs to get healthy.
No, I'm just.
I think he is healthy now. I think
do we see him getting minutes off the bench?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Good.
I ain't saying a lot, but he's going to.
But
get
I mean,
minutes.
Again, my memory could fail me. He basically had the best game in one of the Atlanta games last year. And then I don't think he got the follow-up minutes he deserved.
Right.
So we're going to see how this all plays out. But Adam brings up a good point here. Asking what do you think about the Matisse Thybulle situation. Now, before I don't want to get political. All right, that's the last thing I want to do. And I can just give my opinion, right? And that's what this is all about. It's all about opinions. No, listen, the one thing I've learned throughout this whole pandemic is nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Okay, honestly, it is what it is. Everybody's gonna have their opinions. Do I feel strongly about getting vaccinated? Yes, that's me. I am, and I lost my mother-in-law, unfortunately, to COVID, and I know how hard it hits. Listen, here's what I will say though. I never held anything against anybody that doesn't want to get vaccinated for specific reasons. What bothered me is the people that are acting like the thing doesn't exist. That's the stuff that bothered me. Listen, everybody has their own personal preference. I am a firm believer of that. My thing is, let's just not act stupid and act like this thing doesn't exist. Now, that's not the Matisse Thybulle situation. Matisse grows up in a holistic household, and that's his beliefs. Now, it is tough
and has won by
right. And it's just a tough situation because we're breeded as young men, in sports as whether you're women or men, doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be young men, but team concept, team building. We're doing this for the team, but this is a very unique situation, right? You're placing your beliefs in the hands of the team. Right. That's almost like saying, maybe this is far stretched. And again, this is full opinion, people. Before everybody starts blasting me, full opinion. But that's like somebody saying that you can only be on this team if you're Catholic. But if you're not Catholic and you're Lutheran, you can't be on this team. Are you going to give up the Lutheran background and all of a sudden became a born again Christian just to play basketball? I don't know. Right. So I think that's the kind of way we got to listen. Either way, Dane, it sucks. Right, it sucks for the team, but I'm not going to get on a conversation where I blame Matisse Thybulle for what his beliefs are. That's just not who I am.
I'm kind of in agreement with you. It's just a disappointment sensation that I have because I absolutely love that kid.
Yeah, me too.
I think he is. Forget his play. You can just tell he's a lovable class act kind of kid. Yeah. And
Does a lot in the community, by the way,
Yeah.
too.
and say what you want that you look at the box score and he's got 2 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, but he's just a tenacious defender. So you are going to miss that.
Right.
Yes.
But maybe that's another opportunity for I'm reaching here for someone to step up, Al, and pull some minutes for Doc.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
It's a shame, Al, because this is the team that you need, Matisse.
Yes.
Yes.
Perimeter defense is
Fred
needed.
Van.
That
That's
VV,
who-
man.
That's who he's going to have to be on. Now, let me say a couple different things about this. But
Yeah.
I want to start with on the court. You're going to miss him in that Toronto series. Let's just throw out a hypothetical. He has a horrible shooting night both game 1 and 2, and then he goes back to Toronto and he catches fire. We got a problem now. Because once he catches fire,
Freddie B you're
now
talking
that
about.
defense
FVV.
isn't going to be as effective because he's already in his groove.
Yep.
So that is my worry. Not these first 2. It's when we go back to Toronto.
Of course.
And I am calling 7 games because of the Matisse factor. I think it's going to go 7 games just because of Matisse alone.
And now, would you agree with this? That when a team loves to jacket up from the perimeter as much as Toronto does, one of Matisse's strength is his transition offense and his filling the lane, slam dunks. He's very athletic. So you're going to have a lot of deep rebounds and a chance to transition and have a fast break.
Good point.
So that's what makes me nervous as well.
Yeah.
We're losing his athleticism. That's where he gets his 8 to 10 points predominantly.
Right.
Slam dunk, feeds from Harden, from anyone else.
Back cuts.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's very athletic.
It's going to be tough,
Yeah.
man. Listen, it ain't going to be easy, right?
That being said, if things work accordingly, it's like Toronto, Miami, right?
Right.
It's not an awful path,
No.
considering what could have been.
Well, yeah.
So then on the other part,
I don't want to look ahead to Miami. You know what I'm saying?
you got me myself. I'm gonna say the same thing I said with Kyrie. Dude, you got to get it done. The team needs you. Yeah, I know you. I know your beliefs. You get paid for a living.
He had won the cycle though. That's what confuses me.
Yeah, I don't know
He
why
got the first Pfizer shot.
started to and
Yeah, he
then
did.
stopped it in first. I don't know. I don't get
He
it.
did more homework and research. He said after he got the first shot. Now,
Yo,
if he
what-
said
your
I was
team
definitely
needs you, though.
sick
You're-
from it, that
you're-
might sway me. So.
You're a part of a championship team. We need you. The same way I said that with Kyrie is the same way I'm gonna say with Matisse. It is what it is.
Yeah.
We got to play, but I'm thinking, being the team player that I am, the way I coach as a team, not a 1 superstar team, not a 2 superstar. You need a team to win. We need you. You got to get it. Plain and simple. That's just
Al,
the
did
way
he
I
miss
feel
game?
about
Did
it.
he miss games in New York?
No.
So how was he able to play?
Because the visitor team can come in and do that. It was just a home team that couldn't do
That's
that.
weird.
We missed 0. He missed 0
All right.
games because of any type of restriction.
Okay.
It was only that was actually the part that all of the Brooklyn fans were so mad about. Like, how can a chosen player come in and play,
and rightfully so.
and Kyrie couldn't play? So he didn't miss any games as far as that. What as far as the series, I'm thinking Trent Jr. is going to be
He could be a problem.
my key player.
Yeah.
You have to keep him down. You can't let him get hot.
You
already know
can
about
shoot, man.
Fred. You know about Pascal. You know
Spicy
about
P.
the kid that probably should be rookie of the year. I forget his name off the top of my head. Can't remember his name right there.
Anobi?
No, the rookie.
You got OG. You got Scotty
OG.
Barnes.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Scotty Barnes. We know about them.
They have 5
But-
guys averaging over
Yeah.
15 points. a
Yeah,
game.
they're no joke, and
But
they play
Trent-
hellacious defense.
But Trent
Yeah.
can get hot. And
He
if
can.
he gets hot and you got Flint Van Vliet going and you got Pat, now you got a problem.
and they've got a KG vet and Thad Young. What and Goran?
Yeah.
Now, what other advantage do they have over the Sixers?
Well,
They have a damn good coach.
Just a coach.
I got this is just real fast. Will
Nick
you interrupt
Nurse.
us on the breaking news? So we just talked about baseball, and we were talking about St. Louis Cardinals. Albert Pujols hits career home run number 680 tonight.
Damn.
680.
Is he up that high?
680 for my man Albert Pujols. So shout out to the elder statesman out there who's done everything right throughout his career and still continues to mash balls. Might not be with the same frequency, but man, you're on 680.
Wow.
Never been implicated in the whole steroid era. Never been, just been balling, man, and a pure hitter as well, which is really nice. But real fast, Rich says for Matisse, he got the shots that he taught to his mom. He believed that even getting the shot, you can get it and still spread it. That he didn't want to put it in his body. Yeah, listen. Last thing I'm gonna say is, man, your body, your choice. Do we have to agree with it? No, but at the same time, is it our, is it our job to be able to, downgrade you or, basically, attack you for not wanting to get it? No.
Yeah.
No. People get a little crazy.
Let me just say this, man.
Yeah.
Why did why am I forgetting names today? Who's on there with Miss Anelli?
Who, Tyrone?
What? He went off on this kid the other day. He take his murals down. He's not a part of this team anymore. Get him out of here. Trade him. I'm like, dude, really? Really?
I honestly,
he went way overboard.
I can't feel that way, man. I can't.
This kid is a model citizen. I mean, on and off the court. I said this before, it's still your choice.
Yes. At the end of the day.
Right.
I mean, that's.
You're going to chastise that man, get him out of here, take his mirror. Stop, man. Stop.
I mean, listen, we may, like
and
Rich
I tweeted
says.
right at him and told him that was ridiculous.
He says, no, I don't agree, but I can't attack him for it. Exactly.
Right.
Like, I might not agree with it. I might think he's being an idiot.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that, I can attack him for it. I mean, come on.
You just hope that storylines that we're discussing don't come to fruition.
So let's do this. Predictions, Toronto series, not playoff predictions. Let's talk about Toronto series. Al, you said 7 games. Sixers winning 7?
Yeah.
Dan?
I think so. Unfortunately, it's going to go 7. I think it's only because of Matisse.
Hey, man.
I think we could get it done quicker if Matisse was there for every game because he's going to harass them so much it throws you off. This is a high profile. All the spotlight is on them now. This isn't playing regular season. So,
man, we went all those 7 games against Toronto and Milwaukee in 2001. So
I just think that's what's going to happen.
It could be. Dan, what do you got?
Well, before I answer this question,
yes, Mr. Green.
What are both your thoughts on what we've gotten from James Harden? Be completely honest.
All right.
Do you like the James Harden you thought you were getting going into this playoff series?
Here's what I'll say. Number one, I am going to say that I still think that he's either hurt or he is breaking down. Now, what I will say, though, is I'm pretty sure with this stat, I don't know the actual number, but since James Harden, I think the Philadelphia 76ers have averaged the 3rd most points per game in the NBA. And they're actually plus 13, I think, when it comes to points per game average since James Harden and 24 games of James Harden. So my big thing is it's going to be about the supporting cast. I think we have to look at this a different way. I think in the beginning, we all thought we're going to insert James Harden, and all of a sudden we're going to the promised land.
Right.
We got excited
like that. I told everybody when we first did it.
Now you're right.
Just snap your fingers. We get James Harden. We went in the chip.
You're right.
Stop it. It doesn't work like that.
But the spacing that he creates on the floor is second to none. Our ability to knock down open shots is going to be our downfall, okay, if we continue to shoot such a low percentage. Guys like Danny Green are going to have to step up. Guys like Tobias Harris are going to have to step. Maxi's already stepped up, right? So we've already got Maxi stepping up. But everybody else needs to step up for it because they're going to get these open looks. Now, here's what I will say, Dan. Let me ask you this. Are you concerned that quite possibly now the Toronto Raptors will make James Harden a one-dimensional player? And now, if they're able to do that, now there goes your spacing. And now you're going back to that half-court game that we don't flourish at.
No, that is a problem because he is not explosive getting by mismatched defenders like he used to be. So they can. Nick, I said this the day we got him, that if anyone's going to figure him out, it's Nick Nurse.
Nick Nurse is a mastermind.
So that is my concern is are we going to get the true benefits out of Harden in the series with couple that the loss of our best defender on the perimeter?
And here let me say this, Al, and then, so just put this in your head too. For everybody out there, if we do lose this series or we lose
Whoa! I told you don't say that.
I'm just saying, this for everybody out there, right? If I start to hear, oh, we should never make this trade.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, that's not where I'm going.
Please understand, people. Ben Simmons was not playing for this team.
Right.
Simple as that. But Al, what's your thoughts?
He said 7, right?
No.
On what you said about Harden.
Right, I did
on
ask
your
the
Harden
question.
point. I stay steady with what I say. We don't need him to be 30-point Harden.
But are you concerned with the way he looks? That's
At
ultimately my question.
At times, but I tweeted this out a couple different times. I need him in between 18 and 24 points. I need him in between 12 and 15 assists and anywhere from 5 to 9 rebounds a game with good shooting, and we're fine. I don't need him to score 35 and all of that. I just need, because I don't know why people don't understand this. Even a game I think he had, I can't remember, about 3 games ago, he had like maybe 12, 13 points, but he had 16 assists. Oh, he's a bum. He's done. He accounted for, I don't even know how many points off the top of my head. 16 assists is huge.
Big time.
All right,
Huge.
So we're down a bucket, a point. Last 10 seconds, we have possession of the ball. Timeout's called.
It's still Joel's team.
Who's our killer?
100%.
Right.
It's still Joe's team.
I don't care what. And
He's
the
gonna
one
be
time
triple team. Then
I don't understand the one play. Harden. It was at the end of a game. Harden got it into Joel at the top of the key. Joel hesitated instead of shooting it, and then he tried to pass it to Nang in the corner where he should have shot that.
Yeah.
I want you to shoot that, big dog.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to hesitate or look for anybody else. We'll live and we'll die with you. If you miss, I'm good with that. But not you trying to pass it to somebody.
But to your question, Tone.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Sixers and 6. I do not want to see.
Ooh.
I do not want to see it go 7.
Don't say that you don't want to go 7 because you're scared now of game 7.
I'm terrified.
I'm terrified.
I've been around a long time now. I've seen I saw the Sixers up 3-1 to the Celtics on 2 occasions and blow 3-1 leads.
Wow.
So I don't want to. I don't need any more stress in my life.
I got you.
You don't need any more stress in your life. We already know that. But listen, we're going to see what happens. Breaks out this weekend. Obviously, we'll be back here at Steam talking about it next week. See what happened over the weekend. First 2 games.
I'm hoping that I really don't want to have a game while we're watching the game. I mean, having a live broadcast.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
They haven't announced it yet. So
I thought they did. I thought it was Saturday and Monday.
No, they haven't announced it yet. So it's Saturday 1, and it could be anywhere from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
They give you such hiatuses during the playoffs.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
They spread it out so much. It could be Wednesday, but it could be Tuesday.
People are banged up from that point of view.
Yeah, and then you want to spread all of the rest of the games out. You got a lot of games to get on.
So Rich asked a good question here. He says, "Are you worried about the doc factor blowing big leads and series leads?"
Yes.
Can I please say something about that?
Oh, Al, here goes Al.
I'm so tired of people saying that. All
it's true though, Al.
But let me break it down for people that don't understand. A blown lead is not a blown lead in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter.
No. We're talking late in game leads.
No, late game leads.
Right, but people are complaining about first quarter leads.
I know. Rich ain't talking about that.
People were clobbering them for being up.
Al, we did a show last.
12
we did a show
in Toronto.
We did a show.
Yeah, the last one we did, Dan.
It was like we were up 26 points. We were all cleaning up with a smile on our face, and then after that, we're walking by the bar.
Yeah, I get
we're
that.
like, holy.
Yeah, I get that.
And we were like,
I
here
get
goes
that, but not
that's what
the
we're
first
talking
quarter
about.
lead when we're up 10 in the first 5 minutes of the quarter, and that's not a blown lead.
I don't think Tony, Rick, and myself are talking about those type of games.
No.
But a lot of people do, unfortunately.
Well,
that's online, on Twitter.
That's because you spend too much time on the TL. With all those jabronis. That's the problem. There's a lot of jabronis on Twitter. That's all I got to say. But listen, let's swing on to, we got a little Jigsaw Chronicle here about the ballpark, and then we got the really good question at the end. And obviously, make sure you're following us at Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats. Hit that subscription button. Hit the like button. Obviously, right here at Steam Pub, your one-stop shop for everything real-time drafts.
We're going to throw last week's trivia question out, too?
So actually, that trivia question was answered.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, it was answered, by the way. Actually, our man Adam over there got it last week. I forgot to throw it up there. Yeah, he did.
Good job, man.
I think he Googled it. But
He's like, I didn't Google it.
my man, I'm just messing with you. Man, that's a damn good memory, Adam. I'll tell you that, because I would have never in a million years thought Tom Brady. No way. But one thing I do remember is when I had a leak in my roof, and I found out that I needed an entire makeover. And luckily for me, I went to Prime Roofing. They steered me in the right direction. So I know, Dan, you've had problems with your roof in the past. And I'll tell you what, when you have a problem with your roof and you're not sure where to look, what to find, you got to get a professional out there. And make sure you're following at Prime Roofing PA, www.primeroofingpa.com, the home of roof rescue. Let me tell you what Bernie and the crew does. I know Rick, he's not checking in tonight. I know he's out there every day on top of roofs, making sure you get everything you need, every nook and cranny they cover. And then they also help you through your insurance claims as well. They make sure that, not to say they're not doing anything shady, just making sure, listen, if you have homeowners insurance,
you have that right.
Right. If you're supposed to get what you're supposed to get, they make sure it happens, because they're bullies, man. Let's face it. They're bullies. They come out and they tell you a bunch of gibberish that you really don't know what they're talking about. Next thing you know, you're paying more money for your roof than it's actually
And
worth.
so, can I add to
Yeah, absolutely.
I had this. I had wind damage, take shingles off my roof.
Doesn't take much.
And the roofer had an adjuster come, like you're referencing, and your rates cannot go up from wind damage for your shingles. So your
wind damage is a big deal.
Your rates will not go up.
And you also have to remember that just because you don't lose a shingle doesn't mean you don't have a bad shingle. I was taught that, and I'm not a roofer. Right. So Bernie took me up on my roof to show me the creases that were in some of these shingles. So this is the stuff that you have to look at. So make sure you're following at Prime Roofing on social media. Make sure you're following www.primeroofingpa.com, where they rescue your roof not only once, but twice if they have to. But they do it right the first time, so they don't have to get it the second time. So let's talk about number one. I want to talk about what happened to me at the ballpark. And
oh boy,
yeah,
they don't sell deli meat there, do they?
No, this is no deli meat tonight. Okay, but
the Bravo lady.
I have. Well, I did buy old lady a hot dog, by the way. I did feel very bad for it. Yeah, I felt bad. It's contactless payments down there, and this poor lady waiting in line for 20 minutes. The lines were ungodly long, and she got up and she was afraid to use her credit card. So I felt bad. So bought her a hot dog. She was, hey, listen, listen, that's the way I was brought up, man. No, trust me, I am not gonna. I'm already burning for my way down to the other end. But what I will ask this, and it comes from the hot dog line. So I want to know what people are thinking, the mentality of the general public. So, you're at the ballpark and there's two lines for the hot dogs, and they're probably about 10 people deep. Now, obviously, you have the concourse area. It's pretty wide, goes back pretty deep. So I'm trying to figure out the mindset of people that have to cut through the middle of the hot dog line in order to get by, when they can honestly just go around the back without causing such a scene. And my question for that is, if there was like a cement barrier put up on both sides, would they like run through the barrier in order to get through that line? Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And it's so freaking annoying. Like, every person walk by, I just want to smack the beer right out of their hand all over the place. Like, what you're doing. It takes 2 seconds to walk 4 steps back and go around the back of the line. I just don't understand. Dan, have you ever had this happen here? Do you know what I'm talking about? Or are you one of those line steppers?
No. I'm not,
You're a line stepper, ain't you?
No, I'm not. I'm very I'm exactly what you say.
What's up?
I notice he always asks you, "Are you one of those people?" when he brings this up?
Because the way he answers,
"Are you one of those people?"
My road rage moment. I got it started with that. No, I'm actually cognizant of exactly what you're talking about.
I hate that.
It happened, and now this is not the ballpark, but it happens at Wawa all the time. You have to zigzag to get the hell out of a Wawa. If you have your product all set to go, it's like the lines are insane there.
They are.
And it's like, I don't want to cut in front of you. I'm not.
Where's
busted.
our buddy Bill Fleming when we need him? Get that live
Bill
on
Fleming,
Come on. Look,
But
right?
yeah, so
Say,
I'll
Dan
zigzag.
always hesitates where it says. Dan always hesitates. Yeah, right. But he's right. He says, yes, they bump into you, and then they look at you like you got the exactly.
Right.
Like, bro, I've been standing here for 15 minutes.
Right.
Like, how is this my issue?
And you have that insecure feeling when you're in line that someone's going to try to cut in front of you.
Right.
It's just an instinctual thing you have going through your body. Like, what's this person doing?
Well,
Are they going to try to like pull a meet and greet a friend and then stand in line in front of you?
And here's the Larry David Seinfeld reference
Correct.
too. Let me throw this in there. Why are you saying you're sorry?
He did a button wave.
Wait, no, you say you're sorry. Well, if you're sorry, why the hell are you getting in front of the friggin' line? If you're sorry, that means your lazy ass should go around the back, right? Like you're already interrogating yourself. You're already sitting there saying that I'm wrong, but I'm an idiot. That's what you're saying. And I know there's people out there listening that are doing this on a continual basis. You're butting right through the middle of that line. Like, come on, man. Like, seriously. I mean, I actually had to get up close to the guy in front of me, basically read his credit cards on his ass just so nobody would butt in front of me because I was so annoyed. I was like that. It was like hot dog line rage instead of road rage. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it was like concourse rage. Like, I was getting nuts, man.
That's kind of similar to if you're with your daughter or you're with your wife and some moron wants to walk in between you.
Yeah, like, come on. Yeah, look, what is that?
You're walking down the street.
That's a good one.
Almost shoulder to shoulder with your wife. And he wants to cut through. I looked at one dude one time. I said, really, dude? What are you doing? He said, oh, my bad.
Yeah, what? Come on.
What do you mean, oh, my bad? You didn't know that you was trying to cut through me and my wife? Oh, sorry, I wasn't really paying attention, he says.
Yeah, like what are we playing? Chicken in the concourse?
Yeah,
like,
that's just
it's just ridiculous. It's annoying. But by the way, there was a lot of good parts about that game. I got hit with a couple chicken fingers because it was the guy
jumping up.
Oh, the guy behind me was obliterated. Like, I don't even know how to get the game obliterated like that. It's like the Kyle Schwarber home run. I got hit with a chicken finger in the back of the head. Like, you thought, like, I was like, look, dude, it's all good. You know what I mean?
One of those.
That was early too.
You didn't. I'm surprised you didn't get with a beer that early because you jump up so fast in excitement that beer goes everywhere.
I don't think this dude was. It was like Jimmy Stewart and It's a Wonderful Life. This guy legitimately wasn't getting served anymore. Trust me. Rich says, guess what, Al? They try that. They're going to get it from me and my wife. My
wife was she had to do one of these to me. Like, all right, calm down, let him go.
Yeah, see, that's the difference between Rich. I'm with you because I got that wife who's going to get me killed one day. So, like, straight up, like, there's no calming her down. So I'm the one, like, yo, just relax. You know what I mean? That it doesn't happen. Trust me. You're gonna find me in a precarious situation more times than not. But let's get to this. To our last topic of the show, because we teased this last week, and I think this obviously I don't want to get in the MVP talk. We all know all that hogwash, all that stuff. But what I want to ask is the question, and I got a couple very interesting answers. And you know, over the years I talked about this, and I'll throw out what we had last week. Over the years, Giannis has relentlessly worked on his game, and it shows. I was down there watching the Milwaukee game just to see how good this kid, because he's still a kid, really is. And I asked the question, you know, you're the GM, you know, you're the owner, you're Josh O'Neal or whatever you want, whoever, you're Pat Riley, the Miami Heat. And I'm telling you, you're starting a franchise from scratch, and you get to pick one guy out of these three to build your franchise with. And it's going to be a big guy. Are you going Embiid? Are you going Joker? Are you going Giannis? And that's the question. And I want to know why. I want to know why. Who and take the bias out of there. I'm not saying it can't be Joe, but I'm just saying take the bias out. You're afraid. Listen, your job is to make money. Your job is to be competitive. Your job is to put asses in the seats. Okay. So, Al, I'm gonna start with you. So that question we teased last week, and I'll tell you what, the answers online were all over the place. Some were Joe, some were Joker, some were Giannis. Nobody really had a big lead on anybody. So in your opinion, you're starting a franchise. Are you going Joker? You going Joe? Or are you going Greek Freak? Where are you at?
I don't want to go this way.
See?
Freak. I got to.
Athleticism, correct?
I mean,
the total package.
He's going to empty the tank every single game.
Great shape, always healthy.
Oh, phenomenal shape, leadership. I heard him say the other day, and I want Embiid to get to this point at one time. Dude, if you're thinking about MVPs and you're thinking about first team All NBA and you're thinking about All Defensive Player of the Year this time of year, then you don't have the right mindset.
Yes,
and he's right.
I agree.
You need to be thinking one thing right now, and an MVP is not it. Let us think about that stuff. Let us talk about that, but you shouldn't be talking about it. Now, I think he made the wrong. I love him. I love him to death. I got plenty of his jerseys. I want him to win MVP, and he deserves it in my mind. But he should not be even talking about that because that's not what's important right now. But Giannis is an absolute beast, dude. He's just everything he brings to the table. I mean, I watched it. Not even our game when we played us and he blocked Embiid shot, which Embiid should have dunked that. Yeah, but that's a whole nother. Forget about that. Don't even count that 40 and 16 or whatever he had against us. Let's go to the Brooklyn game. Yep. They were down like 8. He scored all 8 points, taking it to the hoop, making free throws down the stretch, hitting that big 3-pointer at the end. I mean, this dude does it all. Everything you want him to be. Good citizen on the court, good citizen off the court. He's not arguing with refs. He's not doing any of that stuff. He's just playing ball. I mean, how can that not be a choice? And I love Embiid. You're going to see me with plenty of his jerseys. His jersey is probably going to go up in our rafters one year. But this is about basketball, and I want that man to start.
I listen. I'm with you. I don't think you can go any way except Giannis. For me, I'll just go right into it. It's 100% Giannis. No disrespect. I love you, Joe. I love what you've been able to do this year. I think has been an unbelievable scoring title. Should be the MVP in my book. That's a topic for another day. Yeah. Just the way he has fought adversity for himself. You know, we've talked about this before about not being able to stay healthy, always looking gassed, needing to take nights off, needing to take plays off. We see none of that this year. He is a different man.
Everything he's
everything. He is giving you the AI year.
Yes.
Right? You might as well just hold the hand up to the ear. This is the AI year. And AI had every year, but just leaving everything on the court, and that's what Joe. I mean,
people would say he would never get on the court.
Oh,
I mean, I literally had arguments at my job, but people telling me he will never get on the court.
That was the perception.
This kid is playing out of his mind this
right.
year.
So I can't. I'm not looking the other way with that.
Right.
But if I'm going to be an owner, and it's three guys, no disrespect against the great Joker or the great Embiid, it has to be Giannis. I don't see any other way. No. Now, if you would have asked me this 2 years ago, before Giannis really worked on his game, that might be a different story. Right. But Dan, is there any other way to look at this?
No, I was disappointed we didn't get to cover it last week. Giannis is everything that Al said. I can't really repeat what he said. It's just spot on. And he has a phenomenal handle where you can't stop him when he wants to drive to the hole. Embiid sometimes gets sloppy with the dribble. Yep. So you cannot stop Giannis. And if you look at their stats line, they're virtually identical. I mean, Giannis is a fraction off of the he has 29.7 or something like that points per game. He has a better, PER, better WS, win shares, rebounds are identical. He's not as good at the line as JoJo, but I could even make an argument for MVP, especially after the 2 games against us and then the Nets back-to-back. That, to me, is a deal sealer, those 2 games. But to start, that's just for me. But the question was to start a team, it would be Giannis. And here's where I want to just eliminate Jokic from both the discussion of starting my team and MVP.
Oh, yeah, you said this before.
Why isn't defense being counted into the equation?
We talked about that.
Right.
We talked about it after the show, but not during the show.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Joker does not play the level of defense that those 2 men play. No. He does not belong in a conversation just because of his lack of defense.
Right.
And that infuriates me.
Infuriates a lot of people.
No, they even be mentioned that he doesn't play any defense.
Right.
They don't even mention it. They act like it doesn't exist that he doesn't.
Yeah,
play.
but yet he's like the leader in the clubhouse for MVP.
Right.
So let's do this. Let's have a little fun as we end this show. We got two really fun segments here we're going to end with. Number one, we talk about name that franchise every week. We mention a team, throw some names out there. And this week, we're going to talk about the wonderful city of Seattle. Now, they lose Russell Wilson, obviously. They go to Denver. But still, Seattle has had a lot of fantastic players over the years. Whether you're talking about baseball, or you're talking about basketball, talking about football. Dan, do they have a hockey team?
They do now. The Kraken.
Okay, right.
So we can't really count them.
The Sonics.
They just started this year.
So yeah, you can't forget about the Sonics.
The Super Sonics,
right? I mean, you can. I mean, those days of Kemp and Gary Payton, Detlef Shrimp,
yes.
Percy Hawkins even had a nice cup of coffee out there for Seattle.
Nate
McMillan, man, that team, man.
You go to KD.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, man. Wow. They had some phenomenal players. But for me, I think when we talk about Seattle, obviously everyone could say Russell Wilson, but I got to think a couple guys. Number one, for football, for me, it's 100% beast mode, man. It's Marshawn Lynch, just for everything that he did, whether it be behind Mike. I'm only here so I don't get fined, right? I mean, that's going to go down forever in infamy. All-time classic. A guy that comes from Buffalo that nobody thought had anything left. He was a guy that was misused and a guy that just wasn't in the right mindset. And again, he comes there and Pete Carroll makes him a no-star, right? So Marshawn Lynch. And then, Dan, I know you're going to like this one, but for me, how about my man, Edgar Martinez?
Yeah, greatest DH ever.
Right? Wow. Great. Right? The greatest DH ever, played forever. Edgar Martinez, man. What do you got for Seattle, Dan?
So, being old school, I got to live up to it. So in the late 70s, in the 76-77 season, that's when the Sixers lost to the Trailblazers. Then 77, 78, 78, 79, it was back-to-back Bullets, Sonics in consecutive years, and they alternated championships. 1 year went to Washington, 1 year went to the Sonics. And that team was loaded with some great talent. You had Jack Sikma. You had Dennis Johnson, who then was later traded to the Celtics. Paul Silas was on that team.
Paul Silas.
Wally Walker.
Man.
So those slick Watts with the headband. So that was my indoctrination to basketball in the 70s. And then, of course, you referenced you can't leave off any team without the glove Peyton and Sean Kemp. They were just great teams. And football, I go back Jim Zorn and Steve Largent.
Yep, that's what Rich checked in with Steve Largent.
I go back Sherman Smith. I go back to the first Kurt Warner. Do you know who the first Kurt Warner was?
Look, Rich put him in there too. The first Kurt Warner.
What about Craig, the quarterback?
Jim Craig.
Yeah.
Jim Craig took over for Jim Zorn.
Jim Craig, man.
Small
Check
hand
that.
Jim
Oh,
Craig.
my God.
And what sport did I not? Baseball.
What?
The first start that I remember was Richie Zisk
I have
on
no
Seattle.
idea.
And a guy I grew up playing baseball against who made it to the big leagues was Brett Boone.
Brett Boone.
I took him yard in an All-Star game when he was pitching.
Get out of here, really?
But he was a steroid using second baseman who put up some bombs.
Wow.
He had some monster years with
Brett Boone.
Seattle. And obviously the big unit got his career going with Seattle after Montreal foolishly let him go.
Yeah, the big unit, man. What about you, Al? What you got, buddy? We mentioned a lot, though. I know. I mean, obviously, you got oh yeah. Yep.
The whole defense,
the whole defense, man.
Defense was just, I don't know how they didn't win more than one Super Bowl.
They didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch at the goal line.
But even after that, they still
should have.
They just went downhill. I don't know why.
Team chemistry.
With all that talent they had and that defense, they should have won multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah, you're right.
I agree.
You're right.
I agree.
But like you said, I named so many other.
You got
guys.
Junior. I mean, obviously, I think he's Ken Griffey Jr. is the
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
But that Seattle, That Seattle Mariners teams, man. I mean,
Yeah,
Jay
King
Buhner,
A-Rod came up with them.
A-Rod.
Yeah, A-Rod did.
Rich just mentioned Ichiro.
Yep.
All right. I mean,
Suzuki,
right. I mean,
I forgot about him.
Didn't they win 116 games one year?
He was great.
They had the highest win total.
I think they did.
And they crapped the bed in the playoffs.
They did. You're absolutely right. And
who else was on that team?
For Seattle?
Yeah, I'm thinking of somebody begin with it, Eddie or something like that.
Oh man, it's been I don't know. I mean,
I remember his name. It was somebody else with King Griffey.
I remember Griffey,
a good hitter.
I remember
Edgar Martinez.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Oh
him.
no. What do you call it? Was on that team? What? Richie Sexton? Was Richie Sexton?
No, he's Milwaukee.
He didn't start out with the Mariners though.
I believe Milwaukee.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It's happened once before.
Yeah, I no way, no way. I'm gonna look that up, man. I think Richie Sexton played in Seattle.
Yeah, he's got a nice last name.
Trying to think anybody else we missed from the Seattle Super.
It's hard when you think about pitchers. Yeah, right there, bro.
Sean,
Richie Sexton.
But was on that team with Buhner and A-Rod.
Jay Buhner.
Yeah.
Didn't the Hawk go to Seattle too?
No.
Didn't Hershey Hawkins go to Seattle?
Oh, I thought you meant.
I mentioned him earlier.
I thought he was going Andre Dawkins. That Hawk.
Nah.
Richie Sexton.
Andre.
Played in 05, 06, and 07, and 08.
Did he come up?
Seattle.
Did he come up with the Brewers?
Cleveland. Came out with Cleveland.
But he played with the Brewers, didn't he?
Yes, he
All
did.
right. I don't know why the Brewers are sticking in my head.
No, I definitely remember with the Brewers.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
He was a big hitting first baseman, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Real big. But let's do this.
Dan Wilson was a catcher.
Dan Wilson. Man, look at you.
Who was that?
I don't know.
No idea who that is.
Phony name.
Ken Phelps, designated hitter.
I remember Ken Phelps.
That sounds familiar.
I remember Ken
Slugger
Phelps.
with glasses, left side of the plate.
Yeah, I do remember that. But let's stick with the baseball because we got about 5 minutes left here. And this is going to be fun because
down one in
I was very, as everybody knows, just go from back in the day, man, when it used to be me, John, and Coach Dave. And when we go through the CD closet, I'm a hip hop head at heart. You give me some 90s hip hop R&B, that's all I listen to all day. And I was very impressed that Kyle Schwarber's walk-up music was,
you know what?
was Thuggish Raucus Bone, right?
I said,
I was
look
like,
at him.
Kicking out the Bone Thugs?
Yo, that was a bust out. And how about Castellanos too? He came out with a nice. I'm like, wow.
I was like, what is going on here, man?
I'm glad. Good minds think alike.
Yeah, see, that's what. So I'll put you on the spot, Al, right away. And that's what I want to ask. So this, Al Griffin's getting up to the plate. He's got the bat, man. I want to hear what your walk-up song is. I want to hear everybody out there. I want to hear what is your walk-up song because there's been some very, very great. Whether it be the pitcher coming out of the bullpen, I used to love with Enter Sandman with Billy Wagner. I mean, that was phenomenal.
Mariano.
But was he? Wagner was Enter Sandman too, wasn't he?
I think it was Mariano started it.
Right, but I think Wagner came out with that too, or he came out with something like that. But yeah, Mo obviously had Enter Sandman. But for the most part, it's the hitters that come up with the really good music. For me, I'll just go like one of my all-time favorite. And again, you always go to hip hop, but it's got to be Renee. And if you don't know what Renee is,
wow,
and it got to be the remix.
That's a bust out right there.
That got to be the remix.
The remix, not the original.
Not the original. I go Lost Boys remix or Renee.
I'm totally lost out.
Yes, I love it.
I mean,
you got to play it for him. You play it for him.
Think about that walking up, man.
That is nice.
Everybody knows, man. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
See, Rich knows. Yeah. Rich knows. He said that's a great one. So Rich knows. So Al, what are you walking on with, man?
You know what? I thought about that for a while, and I think everybody knows me. Knows I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And I keep saying I'm gonna get to put it on my license plate, but I haven't done it yet. But time to play the game.
Oh, you're going Triple H.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes.
My wife would know. She probably rolling her eyes right now, like, wow, God, please. Yes, but Triple H, time to play the game.
The king of kings.
It's got to be my walk-up. That's got to be the walk-up. Love that. Love him. he had to retire at WrestleMania. He can't do any more in ring anymore. But that's always going to be my boy. Always love him.
Dan,
I'm gonna go Blue Oyster Cult's "Don't Fear the Reaper."
what is that?
I would have to hear it so I would know what in the world that is.
It's also my ringtone when my wife calls.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
tell her to call. So
I need to play that. I don't even know what that is. Am I bad for not knowing
Is
that?
she listening?
Should we? You want to Google it? I mean,
we'll put it on the soundboard next week.
Yeah, I gotta
How's
hear that.
it's a great song.
I gotta hear that. Rich says heart condition. Does
I'm good. I'm good, Rich.
now Rich knows it. He says, I know it, Dan.
Did you like it, Rich? Do you like it, Rich?
So it's old school.
Yeah. Well, I am old school.
Yeah.
I could go AC/DC too, Tony.
Well, I would. Yeah.
Think about it.
Back in Black, on the Back in Black album, right? AC/DC.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I listen. If I'm going, see, how about we do this? Let's go with this because I'll break out some real old stuff. So if we go rock, and you put me on the spot, you get me back to the rock days.
Oh yeah, you could do that too.
And I got to come up with some rock, man.
Yeah, you could.
You know what I'm coming
I
up
can't
with?
go hip hop though. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
not that
listen,
rock.
I'm gonna go really old school. I'm gonna go Skid Row. I Remember You. I'm coming up Motley Crue. I'm going home. One of those for me.
Isn't that too slow?
Nah, yeah, but you gotta you're going rock though. You know what I mean? So
Welcome to the Jungle.
well, yeah, but that's that everybody's gonna do that, right? You gotta get something a little
Everyone's doing
different.
hip-hop, it sounds like.
Well, yeah, that is the best music in the world, by the way. But just throwing it out there. But there's a lot of great hip hop songs that you can walk up to. That's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean,
I'm gonna have to let the Phillies PR department pick mine.
yeah. I you know what? I'll go. Let me go 2 more hip hop before we get out of here because now you got me. I'm gonna go Paparazzi by Exhibit. If nobody knows that, it starts off a little slow, but then it really gets into it. And I'm gonna go Danger by Blase Blase. I think walking up to something like that could definitely. I know a lot of people probably say Shook Ones or Mobb Deep and maybe Sonar Player for Big Pun, but I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. There you go. Rich says Regulate, Warren G, Nate Dogg. Alan says John Cena theme song. You know what's funny? Let me ask you about this out before we get out of here about the Triple H thing.
I've seen somebody do that before.
Were you ever
I can't
disappointed
remember.
when he came out to the King of Kings? I want to hear time to play the game, and he would come out to the King of Kings.
Yeah, he switches it up.
Yeah, I was
but
like,
at this end, he's always done that. The other one, but
Yeah.
the original,
The time to play the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's definitely
right.
the jam. So, but listen, man, we're gonna get out of here. At Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats. Make sure you're following us.
Hold on. One quick shout out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the wife for the
Yo,
great gift of these headphones.
And you're what, Tara, right?
Yes.
And Tara, thank you for the setup
Yeah.
for my man
Yes,
Al. I
yes.
can't wait because
Yes.
I can't wait,
coming.
man. I cannot wait,
Coming
man. I am
soon.
so excited. Al is listen. If Al runs videos like he tweets, we are in trouble on Heat Ratio Sports. That's what I'm going to say. I cannot wait, man. A man is a very intellectual guy. He's got a very strong opinion, and that's what you need to be unique. So I can't wait to get him on the microphone solo with his new equipment. And right here, I want to thank everybody for support as always. Rich, I mean, you've been hanging the whole time. Adam is here the whole time. Rich says, I'm stopping up to see you guys in person. My man, Rich, yo, we're here. And next week we'll be a little more vocal. The next 2 weeks, we'll be here at 8:00, 8 to 9:15, because I'm a soccer coach and I got soccer tryouts. It's like I'll be there for my boys. And then we'll be here afterwards, and then we'll go back to the 7:00 in May. But yeah, Rich, come up by. Let's buy you a beer. Let's hang out. For everybody listening, as always, make sure that you're subscribed. I'm sure you are, but just in case you're not, iTunes, make sure you're giving us the 5-star, hitting that review. And as always, at Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats. And make sure you're giving some love right here to the Steam Pub right here on 2nd Street Pike in beautiful Bucks County, the home of the real-time draft beer list, and obviously our sponsor of Prime Roofing, www.primeroofingpa.com. So as always, boys, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy a week full of baseball and basketball NBA playoffs. We're going to have a ton to talk about next Tuesday. Everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll catch you back here next Tuesday.